BF Day proudly presents Mr. M's Math Class.
Hello and welcome to episode 21 of Mr. M's Math Class. We are going to continue with the 5th grade content today, and it's going to be somewhat tricky. We're going to move into division, so just be ready that you might need some to review and see the video a couple times. I'm also going to introduce a new game to you, so we're going to be playing a game, which is pretty exciting. And yeah, I'm not going to go over the agenda because we do the same thing every time. So first thing we're going to do is here are some very, very limited pictures of you and silly picture of me from the last episode. So as you can tell, there weren't really that many pictures. So it seems like maybe the silly pictures of Mr. M have kind of ended. So if you still want to send them to me, you totally can. But my new challenge for you is if you can take a really silly picture, and if you're willing to have me put it on YouTube and put it on my episode, then send it to me. But just a silly picture would be great. So we'll see if you are interested in that. Our next thing is our estimation 180, and today was provided to us by Boris. And he has a video, and it's really, really, really awesome. So thank you so much, Boris, for sending this in. This question is, how long is Boris's epic ride? And it's going to be a video, and the question, how long is it? And I'm only going to show you some of the video. And then it's going to be up to you to figure out how long do you think his ride actually is. For the challenge of the quarantine challenge of the week number 9, the question was get your skates on, and the question was there were 50 skaters on the ice and 10 collisions occurred. With 75 skaters, there were 15 collisions, and while 90 skaters on the ice, there were 18 collisions. Calculate mentally how many collisions there would be if, one extremely busy Saturday evening, there were 160 skaters on the ice. And you needed to have noticed that there was a relationship of 5 to 1. So the first one, 50 skaters to 10 collisions, that's 50 divided by 10, which is 5 to 1. And so if you divided 160 divided by 5, you would get an answer of 32. And so the students that got that question correct were Tegan, Mateo, Oliver, Nubia, Lucille, Juliet, Quincy, Holland, Jovi, and 5th grade Molly. So nice job to all of you. You'll be getting an email later later this week for the lunch on Friday.
All right, so we're going to be looking at decimal division with money today. And the first question says, a package of gum costs $1.38. There are 6 sticks in the pack. How much does each stick of gum cost? And the first thing you want to think about here is an estimate that might make sense here. And so I know that half of 6 would be $3 each, and that doesn't make any sense. That wouldn't work because the whole thing costs $1.38. I could think about 20 cents. So if 20 cents times 6 would be $1.20, and that's really close to this. And so the answer is probably going to be more than 20 cents and maybe more than maybe less than 30 cents, somewhere like 25 cents, right? So one of the things that you want to think about this is using a ratio table. And so I'm going to use this ratio table to think about this. And we're going to use the multiplication that we've been learning in the past few episodes. And so the ratio table is for 6 here. And so I'm going to try to use some numbers that might help me think about what the total cost might be. So if each stick of gum costs 10 cents, and I had 6, that would be 60 cents. So that's not necessarily super helpful right now. Let's say they each cost 20 cents. Well, that would be $1.20, and that's closer, so that's pretty good. You can think about it as 1 penny. If each one costs a penny, that would be 6 cents, so that's not really that helpful, but I'm thinking about numbers that I can multiply that would kind of help me find the answer here. And let's say I had a nickel or 5 cents, that would be a total of 30 cents for all 6 of them. Another way of thinking about this is 10 cents times 6 gives me 60 cents. 20 cents times 6 gives me $1.20. 1 cent times 6 gives me 6 cents. And 5 cents or 5/100 times 6 gives me 30 cents. So now you'll see how this is going to help me. So I'm going to use some of these to help me out over here. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write an equation. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to find out $1.38, and I want to divide it by 6. And I want to know what that answer is. So I'm going to use an area model. And we will eventually get to the standard algorithm, but I'm going to use an area model here. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to draw an array with one side, and that is going to be my 6. So I'm going to figure out how I can divide $1.38 by 6. So the first thing I'm going to look here, the closest one would be 20 cents. So I'm going to write here 20 cents. 20 cents there. And that gives me a total of $1.20. Right? So I'm going to do this simultaneously over here. So I'm going to write $1.38. I'm going to write a 6 over there. And so this is 20 cents, and that is $1.20. So I'm going to subtract that. Okay, so I want to know how much money I have left over. And right now, I have 18 cents left over. So now I want to think, well, how can I split 18 cents into 6 parts? You might be thinking, oh, I could do that. That's 3/100. Right? There's a connection between 6 times 3 is 18, but because I'm dividing 18/100, I multiply it by 3/100. And so this gives me 18 cents. I subtract that. And so then I combine this amount, 20 cents and 3/100, or 20 cents and 3 cents, and the answer is 23 cents altogether. Again, I combine those together, and my answer is 23 cents. And that's 23 cents per stick of gum. So if I divided $1.38 by 6, I get 23. Let's do another one. So here we have Alexander and his 2 brothers went to the zoo with their grandpa. At the end of the day, he gave the boys all of his change. He had $5.82 in his pocket. How much money did each brother get if they shared the money equally? So here's a bit of a tricky question, right? Alexander and his 2 brothers. So how many kids are there in total? There are 3. That's tricky, right? So I have $5.82 divided by 3. Now, here I can already tell that each kid will get more than $1. So I can already know that this answer is going to be more than $1. So that's pretty helpful. So here I'm going to start off by thinking about a ratio table that might help me out here. And I'm going to start off by thinking about $1. And that would be a total of $3. Right? That's pretty helpful there. I could think about $2. And that might be too much. That's $6. And so I know that's going to be less than $2. I could think about 50 cents. And if 50 cents and I gave that for each kid, that would be $1.50. And if I did 10 cents, right, that would be 30 cents. And let's stop there, right? So let's do another array. So the number that I'm dividing by is the side factor here. And so I'm going to divide that by 1. That's going to be my biggest one here. And I know that is $3. I'm going to do that here with the standard algorithm as well. And so I'm going to write a $5.82. I'm going to write the 3 on top. And that is $1. And so that is 3. And I have $2.82 left over. So now I'm thinking, what can I do next that would be pretty close to $2.82. So you might think, oh, that's 50 cents. And so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to add 50 cents here. My array should have been half of that, but I'm trying to save some space here. And I know that 3 times 50 cents is 150. So now I want to see how much money I have left over. That's 2, that's 3, and that's $1.32. All right, so now I'm thinking, what could I do next? And so I know I can't do another 50 cents. And I'm thinking about 3, and so I'm actually thinking that 40 cents, which is $1.20, 40 cents times 3 gives me $1.20, so I'm going to do that next. Seems to be a good option there for me. So that's 40 cents. So that's $1.20 left, or $1.20 that I'm subtracting, and I have 12 cents left over. This is a lot to deal with here. So now I'm thinking, well, how can I how many times is 3 divided into 12 cents? And that would be 4 cents. So that's the last one here. And 4 cents is 0.04. And so then that gives me a total of, I'm going to add here $1 plus $1.20 plus 50 plus 4 cents. And that gives me $2.74. So each brother will get $2.74. So your worksheet for this lesson will be very similar to these questions, but you'll have 4 questions. There'll be just 2 pages. And don't worry if this is confusing. We are going to go over it again on Friday. And so try your best with it. I am available for questions if you are super stumped and your parents can't help you out, which is totally fine. I'll be more than willing to help you out with this, but good luck with it.
Hey, so before I show you Odd Pig Out, I want to tell you a couple things. One, I'm wearing something completely different because I actually filmed this a different day. And I filmed it for Seattle Public Schools, and it's going to come out at the end of June. So I'm giving you guys a little bit of a preview. So a couple things you're going to notice. I talk about a packet. You don't have that packet. I'm going to send you those pages on Schoology and in your parents' email. And then also on one of the screens, you'll notice that it says page 7 of packet. Just ignore that. That does not apply to you. So I just wanted to tell you that really quickly before you see the video, because you might be confused as you're watching it. But just know that it's meant for Summer Staircase for 4th grade, which is a whole other thing that I'm doing. But I figured I'd just use the same videos that I did for that rather than refilming it again. So the name of the game is called Odd Pig Out. The rules are very simple. You can play with yourself or with a partner. And you'll need the same 2 dice as before. And so I have those with me. And you're going to multiply the numbers. If the product is even, so if you get the 2 factors and you multiply them, and the product is even, you get to keep those points. And you get to decide whether you want to roll again and keep getting more points, or end your turn and then bank your points and then save them, and you can't lose them. Now, this is where it gets really tricky and intense. If you get the 2 factors, the 2 numbers, and you multiply together, and you get an odd product, then you lose your turn and you lose all the points that you didn't save on that turn. So it's a bit of a risky game. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the orientation of the camera so that you can see me play the game, and then we'll see. So I'll see you soon.
All right, so what I did with the packet was I actually took page 7 and 8 and put them right next to each other. So if you want to do the same thing, if it's double-sided, then you'll have to go back and forth. But I figured that you can see both. It'd be a little easier for me to see. So I'm excited for this game, so let's play. So I am going to keep track of my rolls here, and then this is going to be my bank. And if you remember, I have to play for 10 rounds. And if you get 100 points after 10 rounds, that's okay. If you get 200, that's good. If you get 300, that's great. And if you get over 400 points after 10 turns, that is amazing. So this is a really, really great game. You don't necessarily need this piece of paper. If you want to play again, you can take any piece of paper and just make your own sheet here. So feel free to do that. So let's go with our first round. So I have 4 times 4, and that's 16. And that is an even number, so I can decide whether or not I can bank that or keep going. And so I'm going to decide to keep going. Risky. Ooh, 4 times 4 again. That's 16. Ooh. I'm going to go one more time. 6 times 2. And that is 12. And I'm going to stop there. So I'm going to bank at this point. So I'm going to add my points up. 16 plus 16 is 32. Plus 12. I'm going to add my ones first. That's 4. 30 plus 10 is 40. And so I have 44 points for that turn. That's the end of my turn. So that's 1 round. So I'm going to keep track of that 1 round here so that I don't lose sight of that. All right, here's round 2. I got a 6 and a 4. I'm going to put a little line here. 6 times 4, and that is 24. Ooh, 5 times 5 is 25. Now, 25 is an odd number, and so I don't get to keep the 24. My turn automatically ends. I don't get to keep any of that, and so now that is round 2. So now let's go to round 3. Dang it. All right, 6 times 5. And that is 30. And that is an even number, so I'm good. I'm going to roll one more time. Bit of a risk taker. 1 times 2 is 2. And you know what? I'm going to bank my points. I'm going to stop there. 30 plus 2 is 32. And then I'm going to add that to the points that I already have. 4 plus 2 is 6. 40 plus 30 is 70. I'm at 76. All right, that's round 3. All right, round 4. So I have 3 times 6, and 3 times 6 is 18. I'm going to roll again, and that is 3 times 3, and that is 9, and 9 is an odd number, and so unfortunately, I lose those points, and that is the 4th round. All right, let's keep going. I got 2 times 2. Equals 4. I'm going to roll my dice again. 2 times 6. That's 12. Ooh, I don't know. I'm going to do it again. 5 times 1. Oh no. I got an odd number. And so I lose those points. That is round 5. I'm only at 76. I have 5 more rounds to go. 5 times 4. That's 20. I'm going to roll again. 2 times 1. That's 2. I'm going to do it one more time. And 6 times 2. And that's 12. And I'm going to stop there. So that's going to be the end of that turn. And I'm going to add 20 plus 12 is 32. Plus 2 is 34. All right, so I'm going to add those up over here. That's 6 plus 4 is 10. I'm going to carry that 10 over to the tens place. 10 plus 70 plus 30 is 110. All right, so I'm okay right now. That is the 6th round. I had 4 more rounds. All right, 6 times 1. That is 6. That is an even number. I can keep going. Ooh. 1 times 5. And 5 is an odd number, and so I lose my points for that round. That is round 7. I have 3 more rounds. Oh, man. 3 times 4, that is 12. I'm going to roll again. 1 times 4. Oh, man. That's 4. I'm going to roll again. I'm so nervous. 5 times 4. And that's 20. I'm going to stop there. And that is 32 plus 4 is 36. And 6 plus 0 is 6. 30 plus 10 is 40. And we have 100, so we have 146. And that is round 8. I have 2 more rounds. All right, 6 times 1. is 6. One more time. 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 is an odd number, and so that ends my turn. I get no points for that. That is round 9. This is the last round, round 10. Oh man. I got 3 times 1, and that is an odd number, and so I don't get those points. And so my bank here ends up at 146. That is my final score for that round. And my final score is 146. And as you can see here, I'm above okay. So I'm between okay and good. So I did okay, like between okay and good. So let's see if you can do better than me. You kind of have to be risky here. And so I look forward to hearing how your game went.
Okay, so the new quarantine question, the quarantine challenge question is the following. So I'm going to share my screen so that you can see it. And it looks like this. And it's called the 5 orange pips. It says 5 orange pips are arranged in the shape of an X in 9 miniature boxes shown below. How many ways are there of placing 5 pips into the 9 boxes if all 5 pips must always be placed in a box and each pip must occupy its own box? So how many different ways are there of arranging these 5 pips into this 9 box? So good luck with that. And then the mural is a Charizard. And so this is the coloring sheet for this week. And I believe that is it. So thank you so much for joining me in today's episode. I'm looking forward to the class meeting tomorrow, where we will be addressing some of the things that we're kind of seeing happening here in Seattle and across the country. So I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts and our conversation either tomorrow or it might happen next Wednesday. But I'm looking forward to that. Here is the answer to the estimation 180 question, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.